Okay, welcome folks. This is the quarterly meeting for the Thicket of Diversity, and it is September 27th, and this is the fourth quarter, and I hope the September date's okay. This will give me time to get minutes written up for our BTA meeting that we have. I have David Ford on. I hope he can hear. I can see he is muted. But welcome, David. Good. He can hear.
I'm here.
Excellent. Thank you. David is a contact. He's actually worked with the Thicket of Diversity before, and we'll talk to him a little bit later. Dale gave me his reference, so I'm very happy to have him join us. So right now we have Dale, myself, Bart, Matt Pine, and David, and we probably get a few other people to join us. Kathy Smith is driving, and she's going to try and get on, but it is dicey. Okay, Randy's getting on. I shared the last minutes by email, and do we have any corrections on the email? I mean, on the minutes?
I didn't see anything wrong with them.
Okay, all right, then I guess we will accept the minutes as they are. Welcome, Randy.
Hey.
Okay, happy you're here. Okay, so I did do some work on the finances, and I have to do the TCEQ report. There's Scott's getting on. So I have to do the TCEQ report, and I have to have the bank statements. So the TCEQ bank balance is accurate for the end of August. It is $42,719. So that is accurate. And then I looked over the money that we have that's committed, and there's a page in there that may not make sense to you, but it's this one that has a bunch of names, and it has some yellow on it. So basically what that means in a nutshell is every time we have a researcher, we get $1,300 for data management. And so we've paid it out through 2017, Daniel Bennett. We still have $1,007 remaining. And then Scott, your work in 18, Bennett's work in 19, and Allison's work in 2019, we have not spent that $1,300. So we have a total that can be used for data management of $7,507. So Diane's getting on. So and so that's what that page means. In the past, the last one went to Terry Looney, who was the director of TOD, but at this time we have $7,507 to help with data management, which I still don't have all of that the way we want, but Dale has worked on it. We'll talk about that in a little bit. We have committed for researchers. Hi, Diane. We have committed for researchers for their final payment of $7,848 that we need to hold back, and we have $5,236 for advertising. We did run a few ads. I don't know, about 6 months or so ago. It came out in 2 papers. It was a nice ad. And we have money. Diane, do you want us to run some ads again for volunteers? One thought I had was to run it in the Lamar paper.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the first part of what you were talking about volunteers for.
Okay, we have, you know how we ran the ads and we ran it in the Examiner and the Silsbee Bee. We didn't get any responses.
Oh, yes, yes.
But we have $5,236. We can run ads again and maybe target the Lamar paper maybe there might be some students that might want to volunteer.
Sure, I would do that.
Okay.
I think that's a good idea.
Okay. So then I guess that since that's finances, could you guys make a motion and then someone second to do ads to the Silsbee Bee and the Examiner and add the Lamar. I'm not sure how much the ad is for Lamar, but maybe put a limit of $750 or $1,000.
I've got a question, Mary Catherine.
Sure.
When was the last time we met with Andrew Bennett, got a list of what researchers that they want taking place in the ticket?
It has been a while. Diane might be able to address that. Did they give you in their, they don't call it a work plan, did they give you a list of projects that they wanted from us, Diane?
Oh gosh, we did our annual work plan with them a long time ago. So I'd have
Well,
to
that was
look.
a work group plan, but we used to meet with them annually and they would give us a list of what species they wanted us to find researchers for.
Well, the
And
last
I
time,
haven't been to one of those meetings in a couple of years now.
yeah.
I
Well, we haven't,
haven't heard anything about that.
right. We only
Since I've
have
been
at this time, we only have funds for 1.5 new researchers. So, you know, I'm not really going out and actively pushing for it until we get some more money. We have money.
I would suggest that we ask for a meeting with Bennett or whomever it is that is directing the research to give us some guidance on what they want research rather than just go out and advertise for researcher and get somebody want something off the wall.
Right. The ad is for volunteers. It's not for research. And
what are they volunteering to do?
we had a list that I shared a couple of meetings ago, and I can resend it, but it was
a data management system for the research that has been done. And it's researching online to see what researchers who have already done research in the Big Thicket, have they published any further papers on the research that we don't know about? So she needs someone kind of to do some office type help. We got no response, and we did sign an MOU recently with RSVP. That's a senior retired group. And, you know, we have listed also the same needs with them that Mary Catherine was looking for her committee. She needs help with some things, and we haven't been able to find anybody.
We keep talking about this all the time, and every time I ask about it, it sounds like the data are not really accessible at the current time. I don't know why we want to hire somebody to come work on some data that we can't access. And I mean, I think we've been talking about this for ages.
We've made progress on it. Dale made some progress. But the Google search is the big thing because they don't have to have data access for that. But the ads it's for volunteers. It's not for researchers.
Yeah.
So and it was general enough that it could also be volunteers to help BTA, not just TOD.
But in that MOU with that RSVP group, we actually listed the specific data management system, hoping that maybe someone, you know, who's retired now had done it, and that would be a great resource. They don't have anybody for us yet for any of these things because we just started that relationship with them, but you know, it could work out. That's pretty specific.
Okay. So my first question is, do we want to approve it?
Bring you up to date. This last quarter, I was able to get a Windows XP machine mounted and convert all of the old MDB files over to the current version of Access. And after going through most of them, most of the stuff was just stuff that was copied down by Mona from NPS, from the species database. And there's very little stuff that's just Big Thicket data. So we've got a lot of files, but they're not really of value to us for the most part. But we do have the data accessible now. Part of it is in normalized databases where there's a front end database with all the reports and forms, and the back end database holds the data. And those would have to be mounted up on a machine so that they would work and function correctly. But again, most of that stuff just came from NPS online sources, and it's not really
the main ones I need are the pseudoscorpions, the macrofungi, and the vascular plants. I'm in pretty good shape in all the other. It's just those three groups because they were the pseudoscorpions is so old that it may not even be there because it was one of the first groups. And the vascular plants and macrofungi are so huge that it's more than I know, beyond my skills to manage. But anyway, I don't want to spend too much on that. I want to see if we want to go forward with placing an ad for to recruit volunteers, since we have the money. If we don't spend money, we can lose it. I need a motion.
I guess it seems to me like if we had money to spend on it, it might be better off to, rather than look for a volunteer, to offer somebody, even if it's a modest stipend, whatever you're going to spend on an ad.
Well, the thing is that was a line item on the TCEQ was promotion of volunteers. That was a TCEQ line item that's funded. So it's
Can we put that
limited.
together with the money that you need to spend on data management? I mean, I think what Scott might be suggesting is advertise someone to pay to deal with the data. Isn't that what you said we had money for also? Or
yeah, we have. Yeah, but that has to go strictly to their salary. That has to go. The data can't go for advertising. So
right, but I think what Scott might be suggesting is advertising for someone to pay the salary to.
The advertising has to go to volunteer. Volunteer. It's the line item is for volunteers. So recruiting recruiting volunteer events as well. So
so there's not much to vote on then, right? What you're saying is that
I just need approval
for that. Yeah.
For the finances approval, motion and second. And
so the ad that you ran last time, you'll probably be doing something similar. Is it sufficiently kind of vague that whoever volunteers, Diane and the people in the office could
it says help needed, Thicket of Diversity research, Nature's Rivers adventures, environmental education tours and hikes, and Big Thicket events. So
I move that we run an ad in the papers that were suggested.
Okay. Okay. So up to $1,000. Is that okay?
Okay with me.
Okay. Randy moved. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Dale second. And we already had our discussion. Do we approve? Aye. Any no's? Was that a no? Okay. I guess
I think part was late.
Okay. All right.
Delayed reaction.
Okay. So the motion passed. All right. So we have available for research $22,128. And when you subtract that, that's what you have left. So basically it's for 1.5 new projects. And hopefully we'll get more money from TCQ. We never know. We can't plan. It just it just comes through. Okay, I will do the next TCQ report, and then it gets filed on SharePoint. So we're keeping up with that like we're supposed to. And for the science committee, I'm moving on here. we have two projects that are open. We have Weaver and Williams, but Williams is no longer there. She retired. But Williams is taken over, and that is for leaches. And I reached out to her, but I did not hear back. So I'm going to have to contact her again and maybe make a phone call. But she's late on her report that she needs to submit. So she did come in, but it was last spring. She didn't make it this summer. We didn't have much activity this summer. So that one's a little bit behind. And I did get a report from the tiger beetles, and I'm really excited about it. It is excellent. And he's and I can forward that one to you. I just received it this week, but he's right on track with his research. And he asked for me to send him a copy of a final report, and he wasn't sure how. He's been saving receipts, but wasn't sure what kind of format. So I shared that with him. So he's going to be working on the final report. He also shared his data, his initial data with the Park Service, and it was approved. So our tiger beetle research is great. So we're going to have something to be proud of when that's completed, and it should be completed. It may be completed this year because he's on.
You have a science cafe date from him?
No, I don't. But I could sure ask him about that. And thank you for reminding me on that.
That's Rob LaRoche. Is that the researcher?
LaRoche, yes. And
yeah, if he has questions about the science cafe, so he's a Rice graduate student. Let him know that I'd be happy to chat with him about, if he wants to chat about what goes into a science cafe or needs any help with getting that presentation, since I've done those before.
Okay, thank you, Scott. Anyway, his work is looking really good. And I did notice his permit has expired, but I think he's through with the collecting part. So that's something we need to watch is the permit dates to make sure that I know the Park Service is looking at the permit dates, so we want to make sure we're keeping up with that as well. But so anyway, so that's where we're at with the science committee. And what I have on 3B is wrong. It's just scratch out that 2311. It's what I have boldface at the top. It is 22-128 is what we have for new projects. On the education and outreach, the Bat Science Cafe was wonderful. It was very well received. The publicity was good. She was real excited. She was real excited to be here. Oh, I did forward to you guys, I'm sorry, a checklist. It's just kind of a rough checklist, but that's what I give the researchers to make sure they turn everything into me. It's kind of my checklist. It's not very pretty, but it's, do I have data? Do I have the inventory list, the final report, the maps, posters? Anyway, I thought since both of those guys' projects are getting towards the end of their project, I'll just let you know what I share to communicate with them. But anyway, we had some really nice publicity that came out, and David, I don't know if you get the Big Thicket Bulletin. The Big Thicket Bulletin comes out, what is it, about quarterly, I think. Is it quarterly, the Big Thicket Bulletin, or how often does it come out? I don't remember. Let's see.
Quarterly.
Quarterly, okay. But we did have a nice article on the bats, and then Dale, you put something on ticks. Thank you very much. It was you saw it on an NPR podcast, so that was a nice little information. So thank you, Dale, for that. But David, if you don't get a copy of the bulletin, this is a publication of the Big Thicket Association. It's pretty good. So I recommend it.
I don't. How would I go about signing up for that?
So Diane, is it okay? I'll let you take over, Diane. Diane's the
Okay, so it's-
executive director of the ETA.
Hi, David. We email it out to our Big Thicket Association members. And if you want to become a member, you can go to our website at bigthicket.org to sign up. I can also, if you rather a hard copy, you know, we can mail that out to you.
Perfect. I'll sign up online. I don't really do hard copy stuff too much anymore.
Well, we don't much either, but some people still like their hard copy. So I thought I'd offer that. Thank you. Mary Catherine, our membership committee met yesterday and we wanted to have, you know, our goal is a science cafe every quarter. And so we're looking at early December, like the first week of December. And we also talked about future science cafes. So we can coordinate about that later if you would like. We are talking about there's a guy named Greg Jackson. He's an amazing birder and photographer. He's in Audubon. And I've seen his presentation and all his pictures before. We talked about having him in the maybe February before the migration starts. So people can see the pictures, learn about where they can go see all these migratory birds on the Gulf Coast, you know, Smith Woods, Sabine Woods, all that. And then they're ready to go and see all the migratory birds. And then we talked about doing one in the spring for butterflies, and they could learn about how to plant their native milkweed and things to attract butterflies in their yard. But December is open to decide if you want the beetle research talked about. Then I also have somebody's card on my desk. Wait a minute, he's on this call with us. It's David. David, your card is on my desk, and I heard that you would be willing to do a science cafe for us.
I wouldn't mind. I could do one on mussels at some point, and if these are doable over like an internet connection, say Zoom like this, I might have some coworkers that would also be willing to do some on some various organisms.
Okay, well, we do this in person at the Logon Cafe. Is that something you could do?
I could do. I don't know about my other coworkers as much. We have people across the country doing various things. Sometimes they're in Texas, sometimes they're not. But I'm based out of Houston, so I can definitely do it.
Okay. Well, Mary Catherine, we'll talk about this later.
Okay.
I was looking at this card and then I saw his name. I'm like, wait a minute. He's the
Great.
malacologist, Dale.
Great.
I was talking about at our meeting yesterday.
Great, great.
What a small little world.
You know, we can also have the Big Thicket National Preserve do a science cafe as well.
Right.
And
well, since we're going to do it every quarter, you know, we'll just keep on making our list.
Right. I'll have to have help. I can't completely do that, but I know I will.
No, I'm here to help you.
Yeah. So, okay. So we're going to have more science cafes, and that's just good for everybody and good for research. And David, would you like to talk a little bit and tell us who you are, and just give us a little information?
Sure. So I am a malacologist with a group called Edge Engineering and Science. We're technically a consulting firm out of Houston, but we don't really act like a true one. We have multiple biologists on staff that work with everything from mussels to herps to bees to bats to you name it. We probably got somebody that works with it. I'm based out of Texas, and I've been working in the nature since I started my master's back in, God, that was a while back, like 2010. And I've done quite a bit of work down in the Big Thicket. I've helped Allison and Astrid with some stuff. I've actually got some ongoing little projects that I'm working on myself down there, some rangea work and just a few other odds and ends. And then I honestly go out and survey on my weekends because I'm hugely in love with mussels. So, but I've got quite a few contacts too for various different people, and if we don't have somebody that could potentially help with a type of survey, probably know someone that can. So I just wanted to reach out, and Mary invited me to the meeting today, so I'm just happy that I could be here and introduce myself to all you guys.
And he's also the son of Neil Ford, who's one of our muscle researchers. So I bet you've got your hands dirty with your dad, I'm sure.
Oh yes, ma'am. I've been. My dad also used to be a herpetologist. Well, I mean, he still is, but I've been in the field with him since before I could walk. So I've been doing this kind of thing quite some time.
Well, welcome. We're just really happy, and hopefully we'll see more of you. So, okay, we're glad you're on this meeting. So, Scott, you've been busy. You want to tell us about your class that you?
Well, actually, so my class that I teach called Biological Diversity Lab, we've been working in the Big Thicket for probably like 10 years now. We're actually not going to come this year, though. So, yeah, so it turns out when I went to renew my permit application, Andrew informed me that there was going to be a new requirement for us to basically another bureaucratic hurdle to jump through, which we're trying to do, but because that added a time delay, we weren't able to get that approved in time for the the class schedule. So we're actually going to be going to Cooks Branch Conservancy instead of Big Thicket here, which is
Okay, I'm so
unfortunate. But hopefully we'll be able to get it all taken care of, and we'll be back next year.
Okay, hold on. I have a question. You're still on the schedule to come to the field research station.
Yes, I've kept that on the schedule because we have not been sure up until basically yesterday. So I need to update that, saying, because I wasn't sure which place we were going to go to. This was kind of a last minute thing I found out about. So yeah, I need to, well, you can remove me, or I need to ask to be removed from it, because
I can take care of that for you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. We'll miss you.
Well,
yeah, I know. Like I said, we're disappointed, but hopefully we can come back next year.
Okay.
Well, unfortunately, Diane, I guess we need to find out what this new requirement is from the
right, because we have other people come in. I hope they know. So we'll look at that.
Okay.
Yeah, I can tell you more about it later if you're interested.
Okay, yeah, we're interested. So thank you, and I'm sorry we had that kink. Very disappointed, but we will go with the flow. We try and work with the preserve the best we can. So, but yeah, well, I am very disappointed about that. Okay, so Big Thicket Day is going, and folks have been working really hard. It's at Collier's Ferry Park on October 7th, and I'll do a booth. I've made 125 bags for kids. With the office did some coloring sheets, and I have a little plastic bug and butterfly. But anyway, I have 125 of these ready to go, and I'll have the posters and exhibits. It's going to be a great program. So great day. And Randy, I'm gonna keep my fingers crossed about the canopy, because that's a survival thing, not being there in the sun. But that is October 7th, and everything's moving forward. We have great award winners this year, and it's a good day, and usually very well attended. And since our last meeting, Carl shared some photographs that were just absolutely wonderful, and I'm not sure where I think we need to get them to Phoebe at Lamar. We need to figure out how to you want to archive them, but it's a gold mine in your pictures. And so thank you for sharing that. It's the ones that the file that he sent was a BTA day from, was it 2 years ago or 3 years ago?
I've got some pictures from 1960. I'm not the 75, and and some of the congressmen and Ned Fritz and all that stuff that I'm archiving too. So I'll send all that down.
Yeah,
And-
it's really good. So anyway, thank you for sharing that. And
You know
so-
that Penny Clark is on our board and she's the archivist at Lamar, so she'd be the contact, I think, to
Right,
figure out how
right.
to
Yeah,
archive.
I've sent her some material before.
Okay,
And so I've got some more pictures on the Big Thicket, and I'll send I'll copy them off of a computer and send them down to her. But these are some early ones, so.
yeah, that's wonderful. And I could use it too. I was so impressed. Okay, so thank you, Carl, for that. So Dale, I copied boy, did we jump in the deep end with when Dale was able to do major work, and I just copied his email to me, and I sent it to you guys, and then the analysis, Matt, you might understand what all it means. I looked at it, I just about wanted to cry, but basically,
what I sent you was just for archival purposes mostly. Since we were able to convert all of the access files to the current version, I went ahead and ran the data documenter on each of the databases, and that extracts all of the table names, field names, and the schema files for each one. But I said there's not a whole lot of data there that is just peculiar to BTA. Most of it came from BITH. So we'll need to sort that out and decide what we want to keep and what's worth.
yeah, I know what I need, and it's kind of small, so I'll get with you on that. But thank you, Dale, for that, because it's been kind of like a big mystery, all that. So we're making progress. And I think I added, yes, I added this sheet to the different researchers that we've had over the years. So I've updated it to just kind of let you know. And the field research station, we had no activity, and then it's been pretty busy. So Diane, do you want to fill in on the field research station, or? I don't hear you.
Sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. We did just have one researcher leave. He was here, I don't know, about 3 weeks, I think. And he was doing archaeology studies. And then we have a student conservation group here now. Then I think Dr. Solomon was coming after them. So he's not coming now. And then I think the student conservation group comes back. And then after that, we have the Nature Conservancy coming for prescribed burns again in Sandyland Sanctuary. So that's
yeah,
what we have so
so
far.
we ended up getting busy again, so that's good. That's good. And I'm just so disappointed that Scott's not coming. That's too bad. Okay, so the cleaning, Diane and I kind of, we had to go and we did some major cleaning. Part of it is that we didn't have anybody, so there were bugs and things, and we just needed to look and make sure it's being cleaned thoroughly. And there was a vacuum cleaner missing. And anyway, so I just want to thank Diane and her husband who worked there hours at the FRS, and we got it in good shape again. And so
I'd like to say it was our pleasure, but I don't know if I can get that out. It was a lot.
no, it was a lot of work, but it sure looked better after we.
It did, and we appreciate you all. So,
and I'm glad that we saw that it needed some tender loving care, and it wasn't reported to us by the Big Thicket. I'm glad we took care of it. So we did. I did look at, there's a wish list that I'm going to email to you, Diane. But one of the things that was mentioned was to get some of those hyperallergenic pillow covers, that breathable pillow covers,
Okay.
and more towels and washcloths. So I'll send you this, and maybe we can do something in the bulletin to promote that. That would be helpful.
Okay. And when I was cleaning the showers, I noticed we need new shower heads. I don't know how much Dr. Solomon has enjoyed it in the past or how bad it was when he stayed there, but that's just not sufficient. So that's on my list to replace shower heads in the men's and women's dorm bathrooms.
Okay, I'll send you this list, and then
he's giving a thumbs up. The shower heads need replacing, don't they?
Okay.
Okay.
So I'll send this, and then you can put your work on it, and then we can share it.
Okay.
So the science conference, you know, I did a really good program, summer reading program this summer, and it was, we had a day at the Kirby Hill House, and Carl came and Randy came. And it did sound like the Preserve Wayne was interested in a science conference. I could do something similar in Kuntz, where we had guest speakers at a high school auditorium or one of the school auditoriums, and then lunch at the Kirby Hill House, and the museum could be open, and then there could be a tour of the visitor center. That's a little different than a science conference, but it's something I don't know. I just thought I'd throw it out. I don't know anything about how to get the paper, collect the papers, and select the papers. And we have money where we could get those get papers published. But how does that sound? Do we want to try and do something at Lamar? Do you want me to try and do something in Kuntz where we could have the visitor center and the?
Can I make a suggestion, or at least an idea? And this isn't necessarily in place of what you're talking about, but maybe as something that could be you know, in parallel. So we're in the process at Rice of putting together a proposal for a big conference on ecology that would be sort of focused on the entire kind of Gulf Coast region. And we've already been talking about, we want to make sure we include opportunities to include, you know, work on the Big Thicket. And we've been talking about, you know, field trips and other ways to kind of get folks that might be traveling from other regions out to see all the awesome biodiversity we have here. So if that happens, maybe there would be a way to partner and somehow, you know, do both of those things together.
That would be fantastic, especially if it would be an avenue where we could get some of the Big Thicket papers published. I mean, is that what you guys are is that gonna be part of what you're going to be able to do?
It's a good question. I'm not sure. There hasn't been a discussion so far about a conference proceedings. It's not always something that would come out of the kind of meeting that we're talking about. Maybe I can ask if that would be possible. Is that kind of a key component of what you're looking for? Is the proceedings?
We've always published, had something published. And of course, nowadays it's not printed, you know, it's not printed, but we still have some funds. Was it 14,000, something like that? I haven't looked at it in a long time. I think we have 14,000 for that could go for science conference. So, oh, that would be that would be great. And then we could certainly piggyback on that. That's worth.
I'm thinking it's maybe some sort of a matching funds type of a model. I can let you know how that goes. I mean, we're putting in a proposal in the next couple of weeks, and so we'll hear about it in a few months, I think, whether it's been funded or not. And it would be for spring of 25.
Okay, spring of 25.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that sounds great. That could really help and give us the science part. You know, I'm not where y'all are at, but that sounds good. I mean, it could be, we could do, like you say, the field trips. We could have even a lunch at the Kirby Hill House and to a little historical museum. And okay, all right, thank you. So keep me in the loop. And then the last thing is a Fear to Hope project. And I was contacted by Dr. Beth Middleton, who's she's done cypress tree research, and she did a science cafe for us. And she referred she referred us to, or me, to Dr. Rob Atkinson, and he's doing a project in Virginia with it's for students grade 7 through community college, and basically they're studying cedar trees and the effect of salinity on cedar trees, and they send the 20 seedlings, and the kids, they send the calipers, and the kids monitor the seedlings and then report, and then it gets disseminated at a conference in the spring. But it's like they spread, they've been doing this for 3 years, and it spread to like 5 states, and this year they wanted to add Texas. And so they invited, I'm the contact for Texas. And so I've been able, working with Jenny Knapp, the BTA environmental educator, we have been able to get, I think, like 3 schools and 1 homeschool group that have expressed an interest in doing this research. So anyway, that's kind of fun. It's going to start right away. Yeah, they're going to send the seedlings out probably by mid-October. They'll be sent out. So anyway, it's research that we're getting our foot in the door on, some national research for younger groups, and you know, that's it's trying to teach younger kids about saltwater intrusion and its effects, and letting them get some hands-on experiences. So I was really excited about it. But anyway, I added that information to the last sheet. It's called Fear to Hope. And I know the cedar, the white cedar, is not native here, but we still have a problem with the saltwater intrusion. And I did ask if some of it could be done, you know, if it had to be done outdoors. And he said, no, some of them were being studied indoors. So I think he said, it could be indoors or outdoors, because I didn't know, some schools don't have space for doing outdoors. So that's what I have. Does anybody have anything else to add?
I'd like to just bring up what we're doing here in Dallas, and our school's gone through a major change because it's now Dallas College rather than Eastfield College, and we're just a campus. But we're still working with the NSF grant that we had, and doing the research down there. And I'm a little bit premature on this, but we have some money, and what we can do, and this is what the proposal is at our campus and now it's for all 7 schools. But anyway, to revitalize that project that we did with you. And it had great consequences because we had 93 kids in that program, and 90 of them have college degrees, and one of them finished in the top 10 at Southwest Med School. So that's not too bad. So we have the data from NSF, and then we got money that's from the school from all 7 campuses. So what I'd like to sit down sometime with you all and figure out how we can reestablish this so we can have our students come down and do research work. And I think we have money to pay for the faculty to come down and do that. And so there would be assigned 1 faculty member, and then maybe they want 2 or 3 students to work with them. So that's still on the plate, and we're just going through a sort of a turmoil right now, getting everything straightened out because we've done some other things, but that's still viable to do that. So we're looking, and
Yeah.
so the other thing we're looking at is with the DLIA up at in Smokies, and then some other places where we can hire a researcher and have our students go to different location in the country and stuff like that. So
Oh,
that's
my.
what we're looking at. So, but the Big Thicket's real important to me.
I
So
know
that-
it is, Dave.
so-
I know.
So, but we have people here that Jeff's coming down again and bringing the students down. So he consistently brings down people to the Big Thicket all the time with students.
I
and
think
so
there's, one thing we need to do is kind of going back full circle, like Dale said, is talk to the preserve and see what research they are wanting. We did respond, they want bats, and so that really fit in. The bat researcher was not funded by us. She came from the Park Service. So we need to just talk to them again and ask them.
Is
Well,
Hampshire-
folks,
the
yes.
thing that I see is there's money up here. We just haven't, because the state Senate just changed the rules. And so we're ending up with $16 million over and above our basic money because we have Dallas County and the state and all that money's going together. The other community colleges don't have the county funds. We do. And so we're in pretty good shape. And we have a committee that's working on the science program to have us to do undergraduate research in the freshman, sophomore level. So we're working hard on that. And so I want to make sure that you're aware that we're doing that. And certainly we want to see what we can work together and
Right.
use our funds and stuff and equipment. And we got a big grant in chemistry. And so we have a really fine chemistry if anybody's interested in that. And we also have scanning. We have now 4 scanning electron microscopes, so we can do undergraduate research work. So we
Right.
need to use those. So anyway, that's coming down. And Jessica, that you was with our program, is in charge of all that undergraduate research work. So
Well,
we're good.
We
Uh,
will. I'll have keep in touch with me, Carl. Keep me
Okay.
posted. But what we've got to do is we've got to get more researchers, so that the students have someone to partner with. So
Right.
that's the big thing on our. So is there anything else? I know y'all are really busy people. I don't like to keep. Yes, Randy?
I was just wondering, I mean, we've talked about Andrew a couple times and dealing with the park. Is he still invited to every one of these meetings like we did in the past? They just don't come, right?
Right.
But
I
it might be
invite-
worthwhile if we gave him a heads up, maybe he'd be willing to attend one of these times. And we could ask him some questions and things.
I have, you can tell from the invite, the address. I invite Megan, Urban, and Andrew.
Okay,
And so they get all the information, they get the minutes, and they get everything. So I'm keeping that door open, but I probably should go and meet with him in person. That would be a good thing because he's real shy. So, but he's been, when I've talked to him, like at the tree planting, he's been really, really nice. So he knows me from that. So I probably should touch base personally with him. But that's all I have, folks. Thank you, David, for joining us. Hopefully you want us to keep you in the loop?
Yes, please. Definitely do that. And if there's anything I can help you have, yeah, just please reach out.
Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you, David. Thank you
I have
all.
one, I have one other comment. A long time ago, I took pictures of Ghost Road and the bullet holes, and the bullets are in them, and I'll send a copy to him. But that's when Geraldine was alive, and
Right.
she made all those things, and so I have copies of that. But then we came back a year later, and I have all these bullet holes in there, and that
Wow.
bulletproof glass.
Wow.
Anyway, I'll send them to you.
Okay. Thank you, Carl. Thank you
Okay.
all. And let's thank Dale for all the work that he's put into analyzing a computer, because that's been something, as you said, we've talked about it for many years. And thank you, Dale. So it's your work is recognized. So, okay. And hopefully I'll see y'all Big Thicket Day. Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you, Carl.
You're welcome.
I really, really loved your pictures. In fact,
The one with the bullet holes is funny.
so the pictures, so when I opened it, it opened up as they were individual files, but it was just the number. I could not open it like tiles where I could see what the picture was. I had to just open each individual one.
I'll try to send them down different.
But what was so great, I mean, like I saw a picture of Willie Watkins. I mean, there's no pictures of Willie. We don't have any pictures of Willie. And it was a great picture of Willie. And I saw one of Charles Smith's wife. It was just an absolutely beautiful picture of her. So I took some of those pictures and I copied them, and I'm going to send it to them, but I haven't done it yet. But I just thought, now I could, like I write things, so I would love some of those older ones, especially.
Well, I've got Ned Fritz and Geraldine and all those.
Oh,
I'm so old that I've got all that stuff.
Well, but anyway, I wanted you to know that I really liked it. But I mean, there's so many that it needs to be at with Lamar, because it would just end up the store. You know how it is on storage.
Sure.
And it wouldn't necessarily be shared, but I think Lamar really needs to go there.
She's really good, so I'll send some more down to her. But on the computer, I don't mean to keep you, but on the computer, you can put all onto one thing, and I can put every picture I have of the Big Thicket on one thing, drive, and then send it to her.
Okay.
I mean, I've got pictures from the 70s of all that.
Oh, that's nice.
So I'm going to archive all those, and they can have whatever they want. I've got the senators and stuff on there.
Wow.
That the Big Thicket's done. I'll send all those down.
That's a gold mine. That's great. Well, that's interesting about what Rice University is going to do, a conference. That's interesting that they're doing a proposal, but and like the papers that we've done, we always had Dr. Jerry Cook was over that, and he would, select his papers, and and that was part of the speakers that were invited. The speakers would present, and then their papers some were selected for publication.
We need to get the young kids. These kids have never been out of Dallas.
Uh-huh.
And when they come down to the big thicket, it changes their whole life. I mean, we got people who are going to be mechanics and now engineers, and we got people that the big thicket just we haven't put it out like it. The material that I've got is really, really good. It shows you how important the big thicket is to educating young people. Not
Right,
only just in the environment, but it changes their life when they see all that. We had
right.
Nigerians down there chasing snakes. I mean, that's pretty good.
Well, this Fear to Hope, it's the last page of the packet that I sent.
Yes.
It's
Uh-huh.
the last page. That is that's this professor that shared this information. So right now we're four groups will be participating in this project from Texas because I'm the contact for
Okay.
this effort. But you know, if you have a group that would like to do it, I don't think there's much to it. It's you get 20 seedlings, and there's at the bottom of this is a little video, a little short video.
Yeah.
Then folks.
Yeah, that's a good project.
Oh,
So,
yeah. So at least we have
So
a few bites on it.
I've got a girl that's a MD, retired pathologist, and with a coroner, and she works with high schools, and she's a master gardener, and she works with the grade schools, and so she might be interested in that.
Well,
because you do young kids.
It's grade seven up.
Yeah.
And you can share it with her. Tell
I'll
her
do that.
it is starting. They're going to sell. I mean, the seedlings, everything's free. It doesn't cost anything. And they'll send the seedlings, and I think they raise them in pails. The back page has a picture, and then the kids measure, and then they report the findings. And
I hate to tell you that I helped a guy get his PhD on measuring the stems of tomatoes to find out when the most ripes, the most rots were in there, and he worked 3 summers on it.
Oh wow!
So that was a horticulture farmer at Michigan State.
Wow.
So there's a lot to it.
Yeah, well, and my role, what I'm going to do is I'm going to work on the dissemination part. You know, I'll get pictures of the kids, and you know, I'll make a poster, or I'll do something. I mean, that's how I can help. You know,
I'll get somebody to help me here to get those things, so you're not looking up at all the pictures. You should be able to. They should be in a folder that you can just open, and I'll get those numbers off. Okay.
Okay.
I'll try to get them.
Okay.
That's too much work to look up those numbers. That's forever.
Yeah.
But anyway, you got them. But I'll do better.
Well, I was super impressed, and it did say test on the file. So
yeah,
testing it. Well, thank you, Carl, and thanks for.
Yeah. Well, thank you for all your hard work. All of the people on this committee are doing a job, and we're all busy. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And we have had nothing but turmoil up here for a while, so we're getting that all straightened out, I hope.
Well, it looks like we've got some new blood with David Ford. And
yeah, he's good.
That he was Neil Ford was one of our researchers. And so that's great.
What we have our students do is they work with the researcher, and then they help them, and then they have to come back and write a paper, and they have to have a presentation, and they have to, it's a publishable paper with the people that are working with. So if we could talk to the PhDs that we did with the Big Thicket thing, that's a super project that we all did down there, and it's just dead in the water right now. And I'm going, listen, we had a great results. These kids are doing. One just graduated from pharmacy school about 3 weeks ago.
Oh,
And
wow.
so we got, it changes their life, not just about the research work, but
Right.
it changes their life forever. Yeah.
Right,
And so that's like, we can use the big thicket to do that, change in people's lives. So
right, right.
yeah, and we can get money to do that with. So anyway, thank you for your help.
Okay, thanks, Carl. All right,
Okay.
we'll talk to you later.
I don't think I'm going to be able to make the seventh meeting. I have a
Okay.
personal thing here at home, and
Okay,
it's a wedding that I need to go to, and
good.
it's just
We'll have
I
fun.
don't miss those. I don't miss those meetings.
I know, I know.
I was trying to figure out if I could come down in the morning, but I starts at 11:30, and I
No,
can't make it back to Dallas by 5. So
no, that'd be too
anyway,
hard.
I'm going to
Okay,
miss it. Anyway,
okay,
I'll see you soon, though. Okay.
okay. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye bye.